this is a time that if you can make this a habit, whether it's a once a week habit or how I start my day or how I wind my day down, this can really help us in that mindset of instead of go, 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 getting wrapped up in everything, where we can just kind of stop and take a breather.
Welcome to Reframe and Reclaim. We are Courtney Huckabee, a psychotherapist,
and Jen Harris, an interior designer who have teamed up
to reflect,
challenge,
and reframe your mindset in relationship with your personal belongings.
Join us as we discuss and declutter all of the stuff that keeps us stuck.
Learn to intentionally create environments with improved function and design that cultivate peace of mind. Find the reframe.
Start your reclaim.
Hi, and welcome to another episode of Reframe and Reclaim. I'm Jen Harris.
And I'm Courtney Huckabee.
And it's fall. I know we've been talking about fall a lot, but it's the time of year you open up your windows, you air out your home, you kind of bring natural scents in, bring in the spicy cinnamons and nutmegs. But it's also a really good time to reflect on yourself, and take a breather before, we keep talking about how everything's snowballing by the end of the year. But taking in the present, living in the now. And so today, Courtney's going to give us some tips on how we can be more mindful and really take advantage of the calming, slowing down kind of feeling you get this time of year.
Yes.
Even though, naturally, it seems like the world's saying, slow down, hibernate. Change is coming.
It's getting cooler.
It's getting cooler. Stay inside, relax, get cuddly and cozy. But then the world is saying, holidays,
go,
parties,
go, go.
Halloween, Thanksgiving. So,
right.
Courtney, help us all.
So, this is a time of year where, first we've had school starting if you have kids. We're in the fourth quarter of the year if you're in corporate or if you're in anything in business.
Mm-hmm.
So we're kind of winding down, and for some of us it's like trying to get to the end of the race, the end of the year, and then the holidays, just add that in. But before the crazy busy happens, we still have, 3-4 months. This is a good time before all of the holidays and the activities and the parties and the events happen, where we can just open up the windows in the house, and it's like your whole home gets a fresh breath of air. And so this is like the right. And so with that, it's really helpful for anybody who, as we're thinking of getting ready for an event, or if we're thinking of, preparing for a big exam or something that's coming up, maybe a deadline or a project that's due, just trying to kind of sit for a moment and realizing, okay, what have I accomplished maybe so far this year? But also it gets cooler. It gets kind of nicer, so we can open up those windows and also just be for a moment. And so mindfulness is something that some people know about. Some people think it's about, being really, really focused, and it's not. It's just about taking awareness and noticing. And so it's a cousin to meditation. And meditation is having a really big focus on something, whether it's your breath, it's a mantra, it's something visual that you really try to focus in on. And mindfulness is just noticing what's coming and going. And so...
Okay, so just recap that real quick. So meditation is choosing one thing to focus on, whereas mindfulness is just being aware of surroundings and what's changing. Is that...
surroundings or yourself.
Or yourself, okay.
So it's just taking note instead of trying to focus.
Okay.
So in counseling, we talk a lot about our 5 senses, and it's a really great thing, in the fall time with the scents that you talked about, that nutmeg, that cinnamon,
Clove.
that apple cider that's happening. And then also, what I can touch and feel. So the cooler weather that's coming through. Things I can hear. Maybe you're hearing the rustling of the leaves and the falling of the leaves, or the leaves crunching when you walk.
I'm getting relaxed already.
I know, right? I love
Thinking
fall.
Fuzzy blankets.
Yes, the cozy blankets.
Cider, yeah.
The hot tea. Sitting and, just kind of being cozy and cuddled up. So this is a time that if you can make this a habit, whether it's a once a week habit or how I start my day or how I wind my day down, this can really help us in that mindset of instead of go, 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 getting wrapped up in everything, where we can just kind of stop and take a breather. And so I love opening my windows in the fall time, and this is kind of that whole house fresh breath. But if you do that, you can just like hear what's happening outside your window. And so the things I can touch and feel. So we have the 5. So we talk about the countdown of 5. So 5 things I can see, 4 things I can hear, 3 things I can touch or feel, 2 things I can smell, and 1 thing I can taste. And so doing that, it can kind of regulate us and kind of get us into a place just for a moment right here. But also, we're not getting too far into the Christmas holiday. We're not there yet. We're not thinking about all the things that never got done this year that we had on our to-do list,
That's
right?
hard. Yeah.
But just kind of like being in this moment right here, right now. So
that's so hard for so many. I know. Me.
Yeah. But I think it is a really important thing, as we're trying to stay aware, trying to, keep going the race of, if you own a business like myself and like Jen, we're trying to promote our book and trying to, wrap the year up well with networking and events and speaking engagements. Or if you're just trying to be like, okay, I've got to like get to the end of the year and then we can start fresh next year. Family events coming up, all those things. Instead of getting way ahead there, let's take a moment just to be like, where are we at today? This day. What happened today? How do I feel right now? What are things that I need to focus on instead of getting so wrapped up in all of the things?
It's so much easier said than done.
Oh, yeah. Theory and practice always. But if you do practice it,
yes,
it becomes a little easier.
Well, I like the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, right? Because that's something really easy, tangible. You can just raise your hand and it's right there, right? To help you be mindful of the present.
Yeah. So when you think about the fall and you think about things that you love to see, what are those things that you enjoy about the fall?
The changing of the leaves. And again, the sound of the wind going through the leaves and the cooler temperatures and the crunching of the leaves under your feet and going on walks and all those kind of sensory things.
Yeah. And so I love, as we get to like the holiday time, they add the holiday syrups and the holiday flavors into your teas and coffees. So I'm not a big pumpkin spice. If you're a PSL, great, go for it. But I'm very much like a cinnamon and peppermint, and so that warmer stuff. I love a lot of cinnamon, and you can't do that in this hot summer Texas weather.
Yeah, that sounds horrible.
But I can in the fall. So I love the cinnamon. I love a warm, hot tea, a cinnamon tea with honey in it. I love a good cozy blanket. And I like to sit outside, that's the time, we can have more outdoor time because it gets really, really hot in Texas and, I can last outside for 10 minutes and then I got to go in. But now, I can start to listen to the birds outside and the squirrels scurrying up the trees and my kid playing in the backyard. And I love that.
And for me, it's like whenever I always think of those nostalgic kind of views of family, and to me they always kind of take place in the later months of fall.
Yeah.
And it's always like that sitting around the fire, the coziness. I don't really think of like hanging out by the pool in the heat. Like for me it is always like that coming together and that warm, cozy feeling that you get this time of year.
Yeah.
And I think along with the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, something we've started doing to be more mindful in my own home is like finger breaths with my kids. And so for those of you who don't know what finger breaths are, again, you can just use your hand. So there's a theme here. But you run your finger, your index finger from your other hand up your thumb. So you breathe in as you go up your thumb, breathe out as you go down, and then breathe in as you go up your next finger and down. Breathe in, up your middle finger, breathe out as it goes down. And you just keep going through your whole hand. And that's just a way to just be more aware, be more present.
It is. And I know I love this for kids, but especially like if, you're an adult, there's a lot of breathing techniques, and I tell people, even if you're getting really worked up and you're getting overwhelmed or stressed or anxious or whatever that is, as long as you're breathing out longer than you are breathing in. And
That's a
so
good rule.
I tell people like it's the 7-11 breath, which is kind of fun because who can't forget a convenience store? It's really
Slurpees.
great. 7-11 breathing is actually really, really challenging, but if you could do a 3-5 breath, so you would breathe in for 3 seconds, breathe out for 5. If you're in that place of like kind of getting to hyperventilation, overwhelm, even just like making your outward breath longer, your body automatically goes into a deeper inward breath. And so that can be really helpful just to kind of calm down your system.
Is it more helpful to breathe in through your nose or your mouth, or does that have...
It's always more helpful to breathe through your nose because it slows down the air pathway. It also allows us to not take in too much at once because then you get hiccups and stuff and all those things. But if you can do that, if you can't and you just need to breathe through their mouth, that's fine. But closing your mouth smaller rather than can be more helpful. And so either one of those is, really helpful. But, your nose does have a way of filtering out air, so that's healthier for us too.
Nice.
Just letting you know your olfactory
Yeah.
bulb and stuff.
Right.
But so when you think of the fall and you think of, kind of being mindful, I'm hearing that it kind of also brings out nostalgia for you.
Yes.
Yeah. And so for some people, every season brings in different memories and different emotions. And so my hope for everyone is, even if we're feeling super stressed about, if you're in college and you're like, we're at midterms, oh my gosh, like I got to study, we're halfway through the semester. Or if you're a parent and you've got all of these holiday events that are happening with your child's school and trying to figure out who's taking who when do I take off work and how do I get the kids to all these events. Just taking it one moment at a time, even if it's one day, 1 hour, and trying to allow ourselves to just kind of pull back instead of thinking of all the things that have to be done in the next 4 months, just what needs to happen today. And that can also help us with that overwhelm too.
So it's setting an intention for your day so that way it doesn't get overwhelming and you snowball into 3 months ahead.
Yeah, because
like
it doesn't snow much here in Texas,
No, that's
so we
true.
can't have snowballs yet. Haha, just being a little funny. But so I want y'all to think about, as this is the time of year, you can open your windows. Think of a time for you to be able to just kind of sit and be, even if it's for 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes. It's like a gold star for you. But just like what you're noticing at that moment, not what has to happen soon, not what didn't happen that you wished happened, but just like those 5 senses. What do I see right now? What am I smelling? What do I hear? What can I touch and feel, or bring things that bring that comfort for you? And then if there's something that brings some joy or brings some calmness to you, having a drink of your hot tea or your apple cider or your, coffee, whatever it is that brings a little bit more comfort and quiet.
So that's the challenge for the next week. So take a breath, be more present and mindful, and as you're airing out your home, just take a deep breath. I like it.
So until we see you again, follow us, like us, comment below. Let us know how you try to practice that mindfulness, how you're taking a deep breath before the end of the year. And we hope to hear from you.
Yeah, we'll see you soon. Bye.